Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to a very special occasion on the Sleepers Media Podcast. This is the semifinals of Sleepers Got Talent. Right now, we are coming to you live from a 10-person Zoom call featuring everyone that currently contributes to the Sleepers channel. Brian, Rauf, Riley Davis, Deion Hill-Ford, myself, and Carter Elliott, and featuring our 5 finalists of Sleepers Got Talent: Eli Grasham, Tristan Wkelman, Venet Ayala, Aiden Booby Lee, and Joseph, current socials guy, Jay Hart Hartzell. I must say, before we get into this tonight, each of these 5 has already made a quick, brief impression on me in various ways. Eli hit us with a howdy doody when he jumped in the Zoom call. Venet messaged us an hour before the show that he's in the middle of a storm and lost power. Booby pulled up with a Venet and Lubin jersey behind him, seemingly trying to flirt with Riley. Wink has a phenomenal mustache. And Jay Hart, our current socials guy, was the only member of the group that couldn't figure out how to turn his camera on in the Zoom call for the first 60 seconds that he was here. This should be a phenomenal episode of this show. How this is going to work: each contestant one by one will be brought up to banter for 4 minutes with Carter and I. If that sounds long, it's because it is long. We're going to see if these guys are capable of going back and forth in a fun way with Carter and I. At the end of 4 minutes, Deion, Riley, and Rauf will each get to ask each participant one question each, and then it will be somebody else's turn. We'll do this through each of our 5 contestants. At the end of this show, we will say goodbye to our contestants. We're not going to keep them for deliberation tonight. But at the end of this episode, we will have already paused to deliberate, and we will come back on and announce who our 3 finalists are. Riley, Rauf, and Deion will each get to save one of our final 5. Carter and I will have to sit and watch and hope that they make the right decision. That's how this will work. Carter, before we get right into this, do you have anything to add?
Well, at risk of disrespecting our servicemen and troops, these are our Marines. These are the few, the proud, the ones that have made it to this stage of the Sleepers contest, and I believe all 5 of these guys are capable of winning this. I'm honestly a believer in all 5 of these people doing great things in life, no matter what. But there can only be one, and this is another step on that journey.
Riley, you are in the middle of a crew conference for work right now in Milwaukee, but I think it's only right, in such a big moment in Sleepers history, could you please give us some words before we get into this competition?
Oh man, okay. Oh gosh. Hold on. Give me
Cut.
1 second, G. Being put on the spot as if I'm just your scripture bot who is ready to go at any time. How about this? This comes from the book of 1 Thessalonians, chapter 3. It says, "May the Lord make your love increase and overflow for each other and for everyone else, just as ours does for you." We love you. We are honored that you came to participate in this competition, and best of luck tonight, gentlemen.
So I love the Lord, but to be clear, that was a demonstration. I'm looking for on-the-spot 1 Thessalonians, and that's what Riley Davis gives us weekly. We'll see what our 5 finalists are able to do. I have their names randomly in a randomizer in front of me on my laptop. I am going to randomize the list, and then we will call them up one by one to begin the exercise. Right now, the list has been randomized, and our first contestant up is Booby. Booby, you may unmute. You are live with Carter and I for 4 minutes, starting now. How we doing, Booby?
I'm doing good. 4 minutes should be pretty easy for me to get through since that's about how long my audition video was. So we know that I can talk for that long.
Booby, go ahead.
I had a good answer for Carter's though.
That's crazy, but let's do start bench cut.
Okay. We got to start Bonzi, and then we're gonna bench Ford, and then we're gonna cut Lubin because Lubin didn't want to stay and ride it out when Micah came through. So
he gave you the personal practice jersey with signature, and he gets cut.
he didn't want to ride with Micah. I'm sorry. I'll hang it up on the wall, but
Card, I feel like he was going to make a Lubin pun with your initial prompt. I digress. Booby, favorite Notre Dame athlete of all time? Go.
Jaren Grant. That's
Hmm.
because that was like Jaren Grant got me started in the Notre Dame basketball. And then like I also for living in Kentucky, I'm like the biggest Kentucky hater because Kentucky beat that Notre Dame team. That was like so like I just can't I hate Kentucky.
So you
But
live in Kentucky and you're not BBN? You're not a part of the
I,
assignment? You're not part of getting number 9? How does that happen?
that's yeah. But I'm L's up actually, so
Wait, you just hit us with the L's down, but you said your L's up.
well, if Notre Dame wise, I'm L's down, but when it comes to Kentucky, we're
Okay.
up.
Okay. Do you ever like mistakenly pretend to be a member of BBN when it's
No.
convenient in Kentucky? No?
I literally like because I deal with so especially for me that knows a lot about like basketball, like I deal with a lot of like old people because I work at a PT place, so a lot of old people come in there and they all talk about Kentucky, but all they talk about is how they don't like Cal and how they like that Pope guy.
Hmm.
That I could imagine what a Kentucky PT basketball conversation goes like. That must be definitely electric. Also, good to know you can work with old people because Greg is old. That means a lot to me, Booby. Looking at the ACC this season, I'm giving you the chance to lie and or tell the truth here. Where does Notre Dame finish?
Six.
Okay, so it's a lie. Greg, you got anything else?
Yeah, Booby, this is more actual work related question right now, but you've sent us a lot of ideas and projects that you're working on. Like, if you remember the Field of 68 Almanac a couple years ago, it appears like
Yeah.
you're just making your own version of that. Like, what is your dream content plan? What do you want to do if you win this competition?
So kind of like what I visualize is so I like Instagram's the content I use the most. Like I like Twitter, but I think Twitter's more for my news, like college basketball news. So I feel like it's different. And I feel like Instagram's a lot better for like if you want to like promote yourself on Instagram, I feel like that's the way that you can promote your content rather than like Twitter's more like like for a newsbreaker like Jeff Goodman or whatever. I feel he's much better suited for Twitter than he is on Instagram. But I feel like you guys can push more content on Instagram.
I
And
think we have like 500 Instagram followers in 3 months. How many Instagram followers could you get us?
with your platform, I feel like 3 months. I don't want to be like crazy, but I feel like a couple thousand.
All right, that's our time. That's our 4 minutes. We'll stop right there. Cart and I are about to mute. One by one questions wise. Let's go in alphabetical order of our first names here. So let's go Brian, Rauf, then Deion, then Riley. Rauf, go ahead.
I am honored. Booby, I have a Notre Dame related question because this has always bugged me.
Yeah.
Sell me on why Notre Dame is blue and doesn't utilize the gold and green more.
I feel like if like so obviously you like the gold. I feel like gold's the main color for Notre Dame, right?
I
And
love that. I love the Bonzi Colson jersey. Like that jersey, I don't understand why Notre Dame does not have that color scheme.
For football, you want me to answer
For
football?
everything. For everything.
Well, for football, it's because our fan base is like 7 years old, and if the jersey changes, they'll like have a stroke. Like that's the honest answer. They'll lose their mind if the jersey changes. But for basketball, we don't care enough about basketball to change our colors. That's the other answer. But I think like for what you're saying, I think the blue and gold goes better than like green and gold. Or
right.
like
Deion, jump in. You're
Like-
next.
What's going on, Boo? How you doing? First off, dominated you with the L's down. Love that I did that. You're off to a good start. Start, bench, cut, social medias you want to promote sleepers on. Twitter, Instagram, TikTok. In terms of your your work priority if you were to get the internship.
So is this like what I would like to do more, like what I'd enjoy doing more, or what I think would be more successful?
Like if you got the role, what would you prioritize? Start, bench, cut.
Instagram, TikTok. I'd start Instagram, bench TikTok, cut Twitter because I feel like you guys already do really good on Twitter. And then I feel like Instagram and TikTok would be the ones that I'd want to like get going.
All right, thank you, Riley.
Yeah, Booby, I want to know about your communication style and even going off of that, how you prefer to even be coached up. Like, how much direction do you feel like you need? Would you describe yourself as a punctual person when it comes down to getting back to us, to communicating with us, all of that?
Okay, so getting back to people, I'm definitely like I'm a teenager, so iMessages is my thing. Like if you send me an email, you're kind of asking, like I'll answer it eventually, but email like is in a day, iMessage is in like an hour. Um, but kind of like if and when you say like coaching up, I feel like I want feedback from like all of you because it's your content. But I don't like I feel like the posts I can make, I feel like I would do that. So if I don't think I would need like, do I need to put this clip and this clip and this? I feel like I'd just make it and then I'd show you. And like we build a connection on what you guys feel like is good and what's not, if that makes sense.
No further questions. Yeah.
All right, thank you, Booby. Our first contestant of 5 is through the ringer here. We have Eli clapping quietly on mute. That's nice. Great sportsmanship right now. Next up, per the randomizer, is Wink. Tristan Wkelman is on the clock.
All right.
He is unmuted. Carter, please unmute yourself. We are bantering with Wink for 4 minutes, starting now. Wink, how we doing?
I'm good, man. Feeling blessed. How are y'all?
I'm doing great now that Greg told me to unmute. Certainly was not going to do that. Certainly was ready to talk and get it going right away. Tristan, I'm going to go ahead and start with this in the banter portion of this segment. Now, Greg and I do pretty good at banter, I must say. But if you had to maybe throw something out there to, without sounding weird, get us going a little bit. We're a little bit stagnant in our banter for some reason.
Stagnant in your banter.
Yeah,
What
how
are your
you how
thoughts
you
on the
get
SEC?
how you oil that up? How you get that going?
I mean, you just got to figure out what dudes already know about. I know you guys are a big Big Ten group, but I'm an SEC guy, so
Mm.
SEC, like it just means more like a football
just
guy or like
well,
basketball.
well, I mean, football mainly, but basketball is my thing. But
Coach T Hoops, let me show some respect. My fault. My fault.
So, like, our conferences are at war right now in football.
that's brutal.
How do you feel about that?
The SEC is on top.
I mean,
And
isn't the
on
SEC
top.
kind of cowardly in how they're approaching this though? Like, they don't want like an extra game. They don't want the SEC Big Ten challenge.
They don't need to. They don't need to.
National championships recently would argue they do.
I don't know about that, but
Some are saying you were a one-trick pony, Nick Saban.
they say the same thing about Ohio State and Michigan at the top. Everybody else on the bottom, top to bottom, SEC's better.
Hmm. While we're on the topic of war, which one was your favorite?
World War II. I actually teach history, so
That's insane. No way.
Is this real? You teach history?
yeah, I'm a history teacher.
For
Is
real? To
that
what
that is
grade?
that
That's how I'm a high school basketball coach. That's how I am. I teach.
Okay.
okay?
All right. We got that in common. We both touch kids.
All right. Is that the full-time day job then?
Yeah, yeah,
What grades do you teach?
high school, so junior, senior.
Off, okay. And then can you tell us about who's the basketball team? What's the roster looking like this year?
We got so I teach at a pretty small private school in Austin. We have about 100 kids in our school. So some kids that can play, some kids that don't know their left from their right, and everybody in between. Some years we got a great team. Some years we don't have a great team. We're kind of in the dumps right now, but we were up to like number 4 in the state a few years ago. Just kind of depends on the kids that we got, you know.
Do you have to make cuts or do you have not enough
No,
kids?
we only got like 15 kids in the program.
Wow. Impressive.
If anybody knows the small school deal, that's pretty much what we're rocking with.
Mm.
What's your go-to play if you need a bucket under 10 seconds left?
I so your best player.
Like that answer. All right. Imagine that everyone on this Zoom call right now, minus producer JK, who mysteriously took himself off camera, still confused about that. Imagine all the rest of us are your roster. So you have the 9 of us as players. You are Coach Wink. It's a tie game. No, it's not. We're down 1. We need a stop and then a bucket. So we are on defense. You're out of timeouts coming out of this timeout. So you're not going to get to do offense, defense stuff. Which 5 of us are on the floor?
Oh, let's see. Carter, Deion, Riley,
Feels a little
let's go
racist.
Venet. I'm just saying, and myself.
Wow. Okay. I missed that. Who was 3? You had Venet, you, Deion, Carter,
I
and
think
who
I
was
said Riley, Venet.
Riley.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Spacing horrendous in that lineup. Car, any thoughts?
Bully ball.
Good, yeah, honestly, good pick on the first one. You picked the defensive anchor for the stop, and then you also picked, I think, a player who is willing to ISO to get the bucket for the win. So I really like the way you're
There
going.
we go.
Yeah, you did the reverse Purdue. That's we're onto your tricks at the beginning there. I gotcha. There's 10 seconds left, Car. Anything else for Wink before we throw it to the guys?
Are you always rocking the mustache, or do you have the ability to grow
No,
a
so that
beard
was
as
supposed to be
well?
a last summer thing. I'm 26, but I'm the head coach of my program, and I hated looking like a high schooler, so I grew the mustache so people would stop pretending I look like a high schooler. So it's kind of
Respect,
stuck.
respect,
All
respect.
right, thank you, Wink. I'm going to break the contest rules real quick and go over and ask one additional question from me to Wink. This is it, and then I'll go on mute and respect the rules of the game. Wink, you're 26. You have a full-time job and you coach. I think most of the other contestants in this competition are either students or just, younger at this point in their careers looking to contribute and get a foot in the door. How would you make this work? Do you have time to actually contribute on a day-to-day basis if you were to win this competition?
Yeah, so my schedule's changing up this upcoming year. I'm stepping out of the classroom a little bit, and I'll be at home in the morning, literally every single morning, and then I go into school in the afternoon. My wife and I are having a kid in October,
Hey,
and
Wink.
so that'll probably add a little bit of element to things that I just don't have answers to right now, honestly. But as far as like the mornings and everything, I'm a guy that works pretty quickly, as you can tell. And I know kind of the main things that need to get done when they need to get done. And so, um, I know how to prioritize stuff pretty well, and I just naturally already know how to do that. That's why I'm not too concerned schedule wise, but it would depend on what you guys need also.
All right, thank you, Wink. Congratulations, by the way. You got more muted
Yeah.
claps from Eli in the background too. I still really like those. To Rauf, the floor is yours.
Wink, Texas guy, I'm assuming,
Yeah,
right?
absolutely.
So did you stand the Big 12 as much as you stand the SEC now, and why not?
Since I am more of a basketball guy, I've always loved the Big 12 basketball. My wife and I go to a lot of the Texas games because it's easy for us to get tickets because they don't care about Texas basketball that much, honestly. Riley gets it. I mean, shoot, we went to like the UConn game and the Houston game, and like our fans were basically outnumbered, which is kind of funny. But I'm a lover of both. I still love the Big 12, even though the horns aren't in it that much anymore. But it's all hoops, man.
Wink, what's going on, man? First off, love the nickname, love the mustache. Most importantly, love your walls. A lot of people aren't going to give you credit for your walls.
Listen,
We
it's
have
a
seen
hostage situation in here. I'm having to
love the
charge my
walls.
computer. I'm actually just sitting in a chair in the corner right now. So
Love,
it is what it
love
is.
them. Biggest question for you. So far, when anyone goes on paternity leave, I fill in. I can't edit. Do you think you will need paternity leave?
No. If
Huge,
anything, that's what's going to keep me sane.
huge.
So
All right, Wink, how's it going, man? What I wanted to ask you, part of the big pitch to your audition, part of I think the persona that you've curated, at least since being on the show, is the Coach T Hoops, that aspect of who you are. I want to know a little bit of your long-term goals, if you have them right now, in terms of being in this space. And, I think going back to what Greg was saying at the start, with you being 26, having a full-time job, I think that's something that all of us respect. I know, speaking for like Cart and Greg both, excuse me, Cart and Greg, we all sort of broke into this world at the same time while we were in our late 20s. And then, I mean, I feel like I've known them the longest of this crew. So sorry, Dion, I see you smiling. I think you did it as well. But yeah, I just want to hear a little bit of some of your long-term goals in this space.
yeah, I mean, I've been creating content myself for like 4 years now, kind of off and on, more as a hobby and kind of a creative outlet. And when I saw you guys were putting this out, I would love to do this as a full-time thing if things happen the way that they did to allow me to do that, because I think that's what I'm passionate about, the creative outlet of it as well as the basketball aspect of it. I know there takes quite a bit of work to do within that. I respect the platform that you guys have built and everything. Been kind of following from a distance a little bit, so I'm not as in the weeds on the sleepers lore as a lot of people are. Um, But long term, I'd love to be able to do this as like my thing, understanding that that is, it takes time to be able to do that. And you gotta, kind of gotta catch some breaks a little bit too to make something like that work. But right now I've got something that pays the bills, and I can do pretty easily and pretty quickly, and that's why I like doing some of my stuff on the side also that I'm doing right now. And I think it'd be a good opportunity to be able to come in and provide some value to you guys, and just see what doors start to open up from there, if that makes sense.
No further questions, Gregory.
Thank you, Wink. Riley, you don't get further questions, to be clear, but thank you for clarifying. Next up, per the randomizer, is Eli. Today's video is sponsored by LabCorp On Demand. Car, be honest with me, my friend. Have you ever had your testosterone levels checked?
No, I always figured I didn't need to unless something felt seriously wrong.
Well, that's the thing. Low testosterone doesn't always hit you like a truck. It creeps up on you through things like low energy, brain fog, irritability, trouble sleeping, weight gain, and even low libido. And I know you struggle with most of those things, but most guys just chalk that up to stress or getting older.
So you're saying it's actually possible something's off and we just don't know it?
That's exactly what I'm saying. And that's why I love what today's video sponsor, LabCorp On Demand, is doing. With their men's health tests, you can get a comprehensive look at your hormone levels, including total testosterone, without even going to the doctor. All you have to do is purchase your test, provide a sample at a LabCorp service center, and your sample will be collected using the same methods as your doctor. No need to even prick your own finger.
Wait. So there's no doctor's appointments at all?
No, you can purchase the test directly from LabCorp On Demand. Plus, testing is performed at LabCorp's CAP accredited CLIA certified clinical laboratories, the same kind used by doctors, processing about 3 million samples every week. That way you know you're getting real, accurate results.
So that's all good and well, but how fast do the results actually come in?
As early as the next day, you'll get an email when they're ready, and you can view them online through your LabCorp patient account. The results are super easy to read. And if something requires urgent attention, LabCorp may even contact you by phone.
Man, I didn't even realize how much testosterone levels can affect stuff like mood, focus, and energy. And no one really talks about it unless it's extreme.
I know, but even subtle changes can impact your day-to-day life. And getting tested now can help you catch issues before they become bigger problems, especially if you're in your 30s or 40s and starting to feel off.
Man, so if someone who's been feeling more tired than usual or just not quite themselves, this could be the check-in that you need.
Definitely. And right now, you can get 20% off your men's health test by visiting our sponsor at tryelco.com/sleepersmedia. It's simple, affordable, and honestly, kind of empowering to have this info about your body.
Take the guesswork out of your health and go check it out.
Eli is on the clock. Carter is already unmuted. 4 minutes starting now. Eli, first of all, you had an event tonight. How'd it go?
Went excellent. I mean, we got a standing ovation from our crowd tonight. Quite the accomplishment. It was real fun. We had lots of rain, so it was messing with some of our sound equipment, but it all worked out.
You just got the reverse muted clap from Wink. I don't know if that was gamesmanship or genuine. I don't know, but is there something going on with you two right now, Eli?
I think it's just you have a lot of compassion for your competitor. Um, I would honestly, I think all of us here are really happy to be in this position and understand that everyone here is really good at what they do. So when I see success and good things happen to these guys, I think that's awesome.
That's respectable. I was about to get seriously negative and ask you who you think is the least qualified here, but we're not going to do that. We're going to keep this very positive because there's more important things at hand here. Are you drinking a full sugar Pepsi?
Yeah, I am. I needed it after tonight. And it was a long day of work out at my theater, and I'm a bit of a sugar fan. I crush
Can I
that
can I
stuff.
can I trust you? Because for some reason, a full sugar Pepsi, I feel like you might stab me in the back, Eli.
Absolutely not. I think Pepsi is my lifeblood. My family, it runs through our veins. So some people are raised in Coke households, and they get upset with that, and I see that. I see that point, but I had no control over it, and now I'm an addict, and it's not my fault.
Understood. Coke podcast for what it's worth. Just want
Listen,
to.
some people
I've
say
heard
that I am easily swept off my feet, but the line "Pepsi is my lifeblood" could win you this competition. That's just, it's one of one. It's special. Eli, you are a man of many interests, many talents, I think you could say. I think it's fair to say, with respect to everyone else in the competition, the audience's favorite from our YouTube comments after the audition round alone was you. We got a lot of Team Eli commentary. You were just so interesting based on what you shared with us. The basketball podcast stuff is obviously part of why you're still here, and clearly you're good at that. But there's this whole musical element to you too. How do you split up all of your many interests? How do you make time for it? And quite frankly, what do you love more?
I'm a busybody, and so I do a lot of things all the time. And my theater stuff, which has been my passion for so much of my life, I kind of reserve that for my summers. And so that's like this summer I work at the theater, and then I go back to school and I deal with that. But my passion at the end of the day is entertainment, and everything that I do. Whether it be working on a podcast, whether it be working on stage, I just want to entertain. I want to make people happy, and I want people to see that. I want the to see. I mean, when I talk about that standing ovation that I got today, I like feeling that energy from the people who I'm trying to entertain.
Understood. I love a good standing ovation. Don't know if I've ever gotten. Actually, yes, I have. I have gotten one before. So I think
When?
you and I can connect on that, Eli.
When did you get a standing ovation?
In both of my speaking engagements in which I touched kids,
Okay,
I
yeah,
got
the
standing
touch the-
ovations
okay.
from the
All
parents.
right.
I got standing ovations from everybody.
So you love entertaining, Eli. That actually resonates. I can like that mindset, that talk track. Who on earth in any industry, any field, cinema, theater, sports, anything, who entertains you most?
Uh, I'm going. This is my one of my favorite people on the face of the earth. Steve Martin, I think, is the greatest all-time entertainer of all time. So like just watching like the Three Amigos growing up and watching that Pink Panther movie that like wasn't that great, but it was so much fun. Seeing Steve Martin as an entertainer, I was always a big stand-up comedy guy, so I'd watch his old specials. I'd watch him on SNL. It's excellent stuff, and I've always aspired to be like him. My hair's growing back in. It's coming in very white. I was blonde before I lost it, and I, people were like, "Oh, your hair's growing in white." I'm like, "Yeah, I'm just more like Steve Martin."
Carter is currently Googling who Steve Martin is. Not a member of the Beatles.
Yeah, was he in the Naked Gun?
Uh, no, I don't believe so.
What, what
All
was
right, the 4 minutes are
Oh,
up.
cheaper by the dozen.
You can take the remaining part of the show to figure that out, Cart. All right, I'm gonna do the same thing I did with Wing. Now I feel like I owe Booby one extra question too. One more question. You mentioned you lost your hair. What is that?
Uh, I know DK on the Discord knows about it. It's alopecia areata. It's a condition where you lose your hair, and I lost it about 4 years ago. Made it most of the way through high school, no hair. It's growing back though, so we're chill. I got lots of Alex Caruso comps though when I'm in the gym though.
That's
Very
fine. Dudes with
nice.
alopecia can hoop. Shout out to Jordan Walsh,
Yeah, shout out to Cliffy Farr.
Charlie Villanueva.
Cliffy Farr was a high school teammate of mine who at same years had alopecia, but man, could he hit a corner three. All right. Thank you, Eli. Brian, Rauf, you are up. The floor is yours.
You brought up the being compared to Alex Caruso. Who is your game like though? Describe your game.
I'm not a great shooter. Uh, I know being a white guy, I know that's really hard for me. But I mean, I play with a lot of people who are not much bigger than me. I'm just 6 foot tall, but size is not really comparable at the Ball State gyms. So I end up playing more of a big role, and I've always compared myself. It's probably because I watch a lot of Purdue. Trey Kaufman ran his touch around the rim. I'm up there all the time. I'm just
Cut.
it's
You're
delay.
cut.
Cart, mute yourself. Mute yourself.
E, how we doing?
So yes, one question. I apologize. Go.
My bad. So you mentioned hoop. You've shown a lot of sportsmanship. If the ball went out off you and the ref was standing there and pointed the other way, would you tell the ref who the ball went out of?
I ain't saying shit.
My guy. My guy.
Eli, how's it going, man?
Howdy doody.
As a fellow recipient of multiple standing ovations in my lifetime, I want to give you the utmost respect. I'm so glad you brought that up. What is what has been your favorite role that you have ever played in any sort of production or any sort of onstage performance that you've done?
It was my senior year in high school, which was just like a year ago. It was my last performance in high school. I'd been doing performance at that high school for the past 7 years, and I got to play. You guys probably don't know much of the musical theater stuff, but show Guys and Dolls. It's a lot of New York 1920 stuff, and I got to play Nathan Detroit. It's a very charactery guy, and it was the biggest role that I had played up to that point, and it we sold out my high school auditorium for the first time in like 13 years. And that moment and playing that character in that moment, it's the best thing I've ever done.
Any further questions, Riley? No? Okay. Once again, I'm just cheating. I'm just going against my own rules. Riley and I have been known to break into song quite a bit on the channel, Eli. I feel like you're telling us you're musical. If we put you on the spot, roughly 15 seconds here, can you either sing or give us something vocally here?
So you asked that. I have never been a singer in the musical theater stance, but I can give you a little bit. It's from Guys and Dolls from that role. It's talk singing, but it's there. Sue me, shoot bullets through me. I love you. It's very talk singing. It's rough though.
That was perfect. Thank you, Eli. All right. Yeah. Cart, you like that?
Yeah, bars.
Bars. Okay. All right. We're back to the randomizer. Thank you, Eli. Next up, current socials guy, Jay Hart, Joseph Hartzell, is on the clock. We have successfully somehow randomized our way into the one guy in the middle of a power outage needing to hope his phone doesn't die. That's special. Jay Hart, you're on the clock. 4 minutes starting now. How are we tonight, Jay Hart?
Doing great. Got off work a little bit ago, so had a nice stop at a happy hour on the way home. Had a couple hours to get some work done. So doing good. Got to ask how the golf games went yesterday, though. I know you guys are both approaching the first tee box in our iMessage.
Yeah, Jay Hart, this is a serious competition, no pandering the witnesses. We're gonna go ahead and move on here. My first question for you is, what are your top three System of the Down songs?
I have never personally listened to a System of the Down song before, I don't think. That's just really not a band I listen to on the regular.
Okay, understood. You're honestly you're giving lead guitarist right now. Like maybe you're trying to like double up as like a Red Hot Chili Peppers like bass player. Even though I think that dude plays naked, so that's a little weird. But Greg, you got anything else for Jay Hart?
Jay Hart, you've been on record since the start of this show in telling a key member of our Discord, fam, the one and only, that you just need to make it to this point in the show and you're good. I think you believe strongly in your ability to banter. Do you stand behind that? Is that just familiarity? You've made it this far. Is this now yours to win?
I don't know if it's mine to win. I think there's too much talent among the other four in this competition for me to be able to say it's mine to win. But I do think that level of familiarity gives me a little bit of an edge, as well as, I talk to people for a living. My entire day job is talking to people and at random bantering small talk. I wait tables and bartend. So that's kind of my forte, I would say.
Understood. There any Wyoming trips planned for the future, or are you going to be kind of based at your home base for the foreseeable future?
No, I can comfortably say I will not be in Wyoming anytime soon. That was a fantastic trip, though, even though I know you had a lot of doubts about that. I got a lot of hate in the early podcasts about who would go to Wyoming. But it was actually a fantastic trip. But no, I can safely say I am planning on having internet access for the foreseeable future, thankfully.
Well, speaking about, hold on one second, Greg. Speaking about internet access, I got to ask you, Jay Hart, because there's a couple murmurs. When I say murmurs, the voices inside my own head talking. I think you've kind of been sandbagging as a social media guy because out of nowhere, you pulled Cap Cut out of your ass and it was special. I need to ask you, where has that been?
A week-long free trial was where that was. I figured out that that was the only way to use the captions. That was the only way I could figure out to get the captions on, and I did not and couldn't really afford to pay for the year-long subscription to do that. So as soon as that became, available to me through you and Greg, and I was willing to use the free trial to get the one video out, I was able to do that, thankfully. But that's the reason right there.
All right, so I need some follow-ups here. Jay Hart, we purchased CapCut 24 hours ago, I believe. You had access to CapCut. You made a great video with CapCut. As far as I can tell, you posted it to YouTube Shorts, correct?
Yes.
Did you post it anywhere else?
No, I forgot to post it to TikTok and Instagram this morning. I went to work, but I do have a couple more in the chamber that I made tonight that I was going to get out on all the platforms in the next couple days here.
So just to reiterate, we paid $170 for a new video editing software that you then posted to one of our 4 channels in the middle of a competition for your job.
I do want it on record. I have used it in the like I have used it several times in the first 24 hours of having it. Like I have been making content this afternoon after I got off work. So it definitely is not going unused. I can
It's
say
the
that.
Chambers enjoying it.
Okay. All right. That's your 4 minutes. Thank you. This time I have no follow-up questions, Brian.
I got a follow up. I got a follow up statement. I like that you deflected there, Jay Hart, and blame me because I think I do deserve some blame there. But good on you.
Jay Hart, you're wearing a Celtic shirt. Pitch me on why I should not hate the Celtics.
So the reason I am kind of connected to the Celtics is my dad and mom went to college with Brad Stevens. He played at DePaul, the D3 school in Greencastle, Indiana, not the Blue Demons. Shout out Dreadhead Devereaux, the king in the Discord. Not the DePaul in Chicago, but the D3 school in Greencastle, Indiana. He played basketball at the same time my dad played baseball there. So they we're in different fraternities. I believe my mom and his wife are still Facebook friends, but that's kind of the connection there.
I have to interject and ask this. Did Eli just silent clap for DePaul? Did I just see that? I don't answer. You're not supposed to, but I'm cracking up in this. Deion, you're up next.
Jay Hart, first off, shout out my dog. You were one of the leading candidates to be my personal intern. You're the only candidate so far. Want to let you know, don't love where we're at right now. Really don't love where we're at right now, but I know what you're capable of. So I'm going to ask a personal question. Neck beard, are we growing it out? Is it a thing or has it just been a little while?
No, I just forgot a razor when I went to Wyoming and I was kind of, in the wilderness, not having internet access, not really, wasn't a ton of access to much actually. And so it just kind of happened. And then I got back to work as pretty much as soon as I got back. I worked the day after I got back. So it's just needed a night off to get a shave in, actually.
Respect. I think we should post to more than YouTube Shorts tomorrow, though.
Jay Hart, it says in the Bible that man looks at the outward appearance, yet God looks at the heart. But since I am a man, I will also ask a question about the outward appearance. I want to hear the story behind the tattoo sleeve. I need to hear like the breakdown of it, what it means, and get a visual as well.
So the story behind it is it's really I can kind of roll. I've got long sleeves on, so you can kind of get the like waterfall. But it's loosely based off of Artist Point in Yellowstone, which is actually where I was in Wyoming. And it's more just because nature's kind of been my therapy a little bit. I don't do great in traditional therapy. I don't really like to talk to people much, but I'm really big on self-reflection, and nature's kind of my place where I can go to be alone, go to get in touch with myself, get in touch with God, that sort of thing. And it really means a lot to me getting to be alone, like out there for several days at a time sometimes, kind of do my own thing. Skiing is another big thing for me. It's a big part of my life to be able to just go enjoy being outside, go do something I can focus on the physical movements and allow myself to kind of self-reflect without a lot of outside distractions, without a lot of people in my ear. I'm constantly around people. So being alone is something that's important to me.
All right. Thank you, Jay Hart. Thank you, panel. Our final contestant. It is finally time for Venet. 4 minutes are on the clock. Venet, first of all, I must start with this. This is not a bit, correct? You are in the middle of serious storms?
Yeah, that's right. Power outage, stuck in my basement. The household is asleep, so it's kind of scary down here. I'm not gonna lie, in the dark. But I actually think I became enlightened today because when it was thunderstorming outside, you know how the saying goes, you see the lightning and then you hear the thunder after? I think I heard the lightning. Like genuinely outside my house, the lightning struck and on like a metal post or something, and now I think I'm enlightened. So, you know,
Saying you're enlightened while you're sitting in the dark is a crazy, crazy move by you, but I do endorse it. As someone who, well, actually not really someone, Greg loses power more than me. We do lose power quite often for some reason. I do appreciate you getting on here. Was there anything or would you have gone to any lengths to get power tonight, or would you have kind of just bowed out of this competition if you weren't able to
What
get it?
type of question is that? Any lengths?
Yeah, would you go to would you go to any lengths? Are you willing to do what needs to be done to get on this Zoom call?
of course. I mean, honestly, I actually haven't eaten in 48 hours, so I was actually looking forward to doing the Zoom call and doing the interviews because I'm just kind of trying to do things to take food off my mind, you know? In the middle of a water fast. I don't know if you guys know about that, but I'll put you on.
Craig, call me fat because I can't. I do know what a water fast is. I wouldn't do it, but I know what it is. Greg, also get off my dick, Greg.
All right, can we chill? Okay, you've been very, Carl. I don't know what's up with you right now. I just want to know, like, you're giving up situations. Like, would he go to lengths? Like, you're acting like he's kidnapped or something right now. He's not held hostage right now. The powers are just out.
Okay, I want to know how far people will go in
Okay,
this
all right.
competition to
Well,
win this. Will you kill someone?
this isn't casting couch, Cart. This is
You
just a
don't know
Zoom
shit
call.
about casting
So,
couch.
all right, Vinay, back to Vinay. How much of what you're doing is a bit right now? Because I have a strong bullshit suspicion. You're doing a 48-hour water fast in the middle of a power outage while on a Zoom call with us.
Well, it's actually a 72-hour water fast. I'm only 48 hours through.
Why are you doing a 72-hour water fast?
Well, because I always water fast when the week before I haven't been eating good, you know, just like pizza, burgers, whatever. I want to lock back in, get in the gym. And to do that, you need to straighten up the diet too, right? So it helps me reset, helps the mental reset. And also, the nice thing about a water fast is the way to get through it is make your schedule busy. So with all the sleeper stuff going on, having to go into work today, yesterday, it just keeps my mind off of things. So it's fun, honestly. On like today, I actually didn't feel hungry at all. It's kind of euphoric. You you can't really attest to it unless you've tried it, so it's
Hmm.
cool.
So shows you're mentally strong. I do appreciate that. Vinay, correct me if I'm wrong, but it does seem like you are a very avid consumer of sleepers. I'm not saying that you're less than anybody, more or less than anybody else, but you definitely have shown some points that you listen to us quite often. I guess what inspired you to want to be a part of like this team? Because I feel like it's one thing to like appreciate the content that we do and the stuff we do. It's also another thing to be like, I want to be a part of whatever this operation is.
Right. I mean, I guess I'll start from early on. Like Sleepers was really the first channel I came across. Prior to college, I wasn't really into sports because of my parents, siblings, like none of them were into it. So after coming to Purdue, obviously big time sports school, and all of a sudden on my feed, I'm always interested in it. So it pops up like Purdue versus another school, like Purdue, Michigan preview, and then I watch that and I get to know more about what's happening with the program, and then I become more invested in it. And after all of that, I've just kind of become loyal to this podcast because obviously it's the first one that pops up. I'm familiar with you guys, and now I mean, I saw the opportunity that you guys posted on Twitter. And to be honest, like as an engineer, we don't really have opportunities to, contribute to the sports world. And obviously, since I do enjoy sports, whether it's just basketball or even other ones like golf or tennis, this just gives me the opportunity to be involved and contribute to something that not many people in my position can. So pretty grateful for that. Yep.
All right. Thank you, Venet. 4 minutes is up. No additional questions from me. Rauf, up to you.
Vinay, cart praise your mental toughness. I'm gonna test that. What's the first meal back?
First meal back, it's watermelon and Greek yogurt.
Dean, how we doing? First off, love how invested in sleepers you are. You mentioned in your video you were drinking the Sleepers Media official drink. You never said what it was though. What was it?
Ooh, it was Aperol with Chambord and lime juice and club soda. So it's a good drink. It's nice summertime cocktail. Uh, you know, you can make it, find off the shelves, and it's always a good something nice to make. I did actually speak with members in the Discord, and they were giving recommendations of putting like mezcal, añejo, and different things. So I guess we'll have to find out. Maybe have a little uh, cocktail tier maker later and figure out the best way to create the sleepers cocktail.
Venet, how's it going, man? Glad to have you on, even amid the storm. I wanted to ask, what was the piece of Sleepers content that first hooked you in, made you think, these are my guys, and even more so, maybe one day I could contribute to this?
It was probably Greg singing about Michigan losing to some team. I forgot, but I know Greg was singing about it. Michigan or Michigan State. Man, I really wanted to find the clip and put it in my video, but I think it got taken off of YouTube. But that's kind of what it just made me realize like, oh, these guys like they know what they're doing, but they're also like big time jokesters, and that's kind of how my personality is too. And that's something I'd love to contribute to.
All right, I now do have one follow-up. You have clearly demonstrated your engineering skills through process documents, and you just verbally even mentioned it tonight. In the event, you mentioned that YouTube striked us. It was a dark time for all of us. Let's take a moment of silence. Anyways, they took our content down. If that happens again, I don't ever plan on it. Compliant, fully compliant. But would you hypothetically be capable of helping us strike back?
Yes, I actually helped. Do you guys know who Janky Rondo is? He's like a
The streamer?
yeah, he's a streamer, but he's like popular for doing commanders like highlight reels and
Yeah.
recaps. Yeah, so he actually got striked off of YouTube for the same reasons, and I was able to reach out to him because I did work in the past with a couple guys who work at YouTube, and I kind of reached out and they were able to connect him, so it worked well. I used to do a lot of this was like 4 or 5 years ago, but I used to do a lot of NFT related projects because everyone was in that space. So I was like, let me try it. Don't do it. Don't recommend it. Anyways, through that, I learned a lot about social media, especially like Twitter, YouTube, and yeah, kind of just meet people, and then you can, reach out to them after a while, and sometimes things work the right way.
Ooh, okay. One last final thing for real, final thing here.
Yeah.
There's no hard feelings if you don't win this, right? Like you won't take us down. Like for now, I feel like we're at risk from like a cyber attack now if we don't put you through.
No, genuinely, I mean, I appreciate like make you guys advance me to this final round, but anyone here, they're more than capable of helping you guys and supporting you. And even after, like, let's say I don't make the cut or whatever, I'm gonna be part of the Discord. I actually finally realized that I'm a working, I have an internship, so I have the money to pay to be in the Discord. So now, and I've already made a bunch of friends in the Discord. It's all cool vibes in there, so. I'm really enjoying it. So either way, I'm here with you guys in the long run, looking to see what you guys produce. And do you mind if I ask a question, Greg, on behalf of all the participants?
Sure.
Yeah, I just wanted to ask because a lot of us are in a similar like age range. We all have our own like jobs, whether it's internships, and even in August, I'm going to be going back to college, and I'm sure many of the other but potential interns will be too. I just wanted to ask, maybe it's a question for JK or any of you guys, because you guys, I'm sure you have your jobs too. How do you manage like a balance between like your regular 9 to 5 and sleepers, and what does that kind of look like? Just wanted to get some insider perspective.
I'm going to give you one sentence answer, and then if anyone else on our side wants to chime in at all, feel free, but no obligation, obviously. I think it's all rooted in a genuine passion for this, and we all really do sacrifice and prioritize a lot just to be consistent. And I think consistency has been the most important thing for our channel's growth. Deion just got a promotion and works an awesome job that we know we have to work around. Riley is in a very successful career that is very community oriented, and he needs to be on site a lot, and we still make time for that. Brian Rauf does videos with me for hours from the office, usually at least once a week. Carter's the hardest working person I know. I have no idea how he has time to be a family man on top of all of this. JK's work ethic is okay. It's honestly, he's in a really good spot, I would say, for us right now. But no, it's just a genuine love. And if anyone else wants to chime in, you can.
That was perfectly said. The JK comment got a chuckle from Meg upstairs. So good.
Thank you. I love you, JK. Rauf, you got something?
Yeah, only thing, and this goes for like anything in life I have found. If you want it bad enough, you'll find a way to make it work.
It's real wisdom right there.
Thank you.
Okay, one final Venet question from me, and then we're going to get off this, I swear. Venet, who was the streamer you mentioned? Janky Rondo?
Yep, Janky Rondo.
Could you call him right now?
I don't have his phone number.
Okay. All right, thank you. Thank you, Venet.
Yeah, okay.
I'm just putting you through the classic Carter Greg banter ringer here. Venet, please give me a thumbs up once you're muted officially here. Thank you. I think Vinay's lying, boys. I think Venet is constantly just pulling out these great things that there's a lot there. I'm just saying, it's my read.
This is you're dipping your toes in an area that's not yours. You're not lying. If you're gonna lie, you don't lie about doing it with Janky Rondo. There's a list of streamers you would lie about it first. Venet, don't shake your head. You're not about this lying shit. All right, this is years of work.
All right. Thank you, Carter. All right. So I told everyone the format was now going to be that they've concluded this, and we were going to say goodbye to our 5 participants. We're recording this on a Wednesday night, and that our team will now deliberate offline and get back to them on a Monday. That is still true. However, on the fly right now, I just realized there's a much more entertaining way to go about this. So welcome to Sleepers Media. This is what we do. Gentlemen, all 5 of you right now, we are in a Zoom call. You should be able to send a chat just to the host. Find your chat button if you can. I know, Venet, I think you're on your phone. If you could, please give me a thumbs up if anyone can, if you have the chat and you're able to figure out how to message just Jacob right now. Booby says yes. Jacob, you can unmute as well if you want to help facilitate this at all. In fact, you just sent a message that says LMAO no. No, we're going down this path now, right now, Jacob.
This is Court. That was Court, not me.
Okay, well, Cart, we're going down this path. Anyone besides Booby have this? You can all unmute if we need to get this figured out. Eli's got it. Booby's got it.
You gotta hit the blue thing, like the blue notepad thing, and then find
Okay, Eli, Booby, Venet have all got it. We're waiting on Wink and Jay Hart. Jay Hart's got it. Just waiting on Wink. Reminder. Okay, everyone thumbs up. Make sure you are just messaging the host, correct? Everyone says yes. Gentlemen, this is now Survivor, and you're voting someone off the island. Please send one name of another participant, or I guess you could vote yourself off. But please send one name of a part. It's private. No one will know who sent the names. Please send a name of the participant you think does not deserve to be in the competition. Jacob, once all 5 have been sent to you, I'm going to have you read them. I can't even see them, so you clearly know I have no idea what's going on. Card, we didn't even talk about this. This was just on the fly. I decided we're doing this. Are you comfortable with this, Card? Do you think this is a wrong move?
I mean, no sense in acting like I have a choice.
How do you feel about it, my friend? I care about how you feel.
I endorse everything that you do, no matter what. So let's rock with it.
All right. Jacob, anything coming in? You can unmute too. Let's hear JK's voice.
I am just waiting on one more vote to come in. All right, I've officially received all 5 votes.
All right, thank you, gentlemen. Jacob, it's now time. But before you read the votes, I'd like to say this. This is just sick, twisted mental game. We're not actually voting this person off the island. Okay. This is still, it's falling to Rauf, Riley, and Deion. But now the world is going to hear who would have been voted off. Jacob, please read the 5 votes that were sent your way.
Do you want me to say who voted for who to
No,
really
no,
spice it
it's
up?
private. Just
All
read
right.
name after name 5 times the votes that were sent to you.
All right. Vote number 1, Venet. Vote number 2, Jay Hart. Vote number 3, Jay Hart. Vote number 4, Jay Hart. Vote number 5, Jay Hart.
Wow. All right.
Crazy.
There you have it, folks. Coming after our current socials guy. Jay
Yeah, we
Hart.
like that smoke, Jay Hart. We want that. We want that.
Jay Hart, you might as well unmute to end the show at this point, since that is just how this played out. Jay Hart, any thoughts? You appear to have been unanimously blindsided here.
I'm not really sure it's a blind side. These guys all deserve to be here. I would say I was not the most proud of my first 2 submissions, including there was the introduction or the photo, the graphic submissions, and I think I was kind of lucky to make it to the video round, and then I was proud of what I put out in the video round. But there's a lot of talented people in this competition, so it's hard to say I really deserved to win or didn't deserve to be here or anything like that. So,
All right. Well, as I mentioned right before that, that was not a serious vote, so we will still go offline and deliberate. But I don't know. Now I feel like I should apologize for that. That was kind of sick and twisted, but that was in the moment. That felt like it was going to be really fun. I digress. All right, Eli, Wink, Booby, Venet, Jay Hart, thank you all. You all have done incredible work in this competition. This was very fun. Round of applause from all of us to you. For all of our audience as well, we will keep you updated on the rest of this competition. This episode is coming out next Tuesday from when we're recording this, but make sure you go find these guys on their individual social medias and support them. And I mentioned this to all of them before we clicked record tonight. There is a chance that we work with multiple of these people, even though we are crowning one winner. You may see some multiple faces from this group pop up on our channels going forward. So thank you all. You guys may now leave the show. Jacob, you can pause and we will go to deliberate our results. We have deliberated. Believe it or not, we just deliberated for 42 minutes as a team. This was the most passionate discussion that this group of people has ever engaged in, truly. And we don't know what the outcome will be, because the outcome is in Rauf, Deion, and Riley's hands now. Carter and I will sit back and watch. Jacob has been on mute this whole time, but his camera's on now. Say hi, JK. And I'm going to randomize a list that has Rauf, Deion, and Riley's names on it. In the order that it appears to me, I will give you a name of one of our judges, and then that person will save one of our final 5 finalists. We will do that 3 consecutive times until we have 3 members of this group that have gone to the final round of the competition. Whoever 2 are not saved will be eliminated at this point in time. Your names are in the randomizer. I have randomized. The first person who gets a save is Deion.
Huge. I'm going to save Eli. I thought he had the best round out of all 3. Obviously, there's pros and cons to each candidate. I think he was the most prepared for this round. I think he came in the most confident. I don't love all the sportsmanship he showed. I was looking for a little bit more killer instinct, but now he has another chance to prove that.
He did hit you with one quote at one point, didn't he? On "I ain't saying shit." Wasn't that the quote? So,
if he would have snitched, he was out.
All right. Well, now he's your first save. So well done, Eli. Congratulations to Eli for advancing to our final 3. The next name on the list is Riley Davis.
I'm going to save the lurking Jaguar, Booby. I think when I see Booby, I see a ton of upside, a ton of talent, a guy who has a great eye for graphic design. I like him. I like the idea of him coming up through the sleeper system, and I think he just gives us a lot to work with. I've been impressed by him since that graphic that he sent after he butchered round 1. I thought he rebounded exceptionally well, and I want to give him a shot.
Wow. Okay. Eli and Booby have advanced. That means Brian Rauf is left. And I will reveal this. This is the only time Rauf's going to be left on camera in this competition. Before we deliberated, we did all go around and just share some general thoughts. Brian Rauf said there were clearly a top two. Clearly a top two, and then there was some separation. Both of Ralph's top two are still available on the board right now. Rauf, the choice is yours. I don't think you expected to have this choice, but you are saving the last third and final member of Sleepers Got Talent. Who is it?
I did not expect to have this choice. But the good thing about big boards, and the good thing about there being two, is that there is a number one and a number two. Number one for me was Wink. I think Wink's got to get through. I think his work has been phenomenal. I think the conversation we had with him and the maturity that he has and the dedication that he has already shown, I think, and the willingness he's already shown speaks volumes about him and his work ethic, along with producing good work. So Wink is my choice.
All right. There you have it. Wink, Eli, and Booby are the final three contestants left in Sleepers Got Talent. We now say goodbye to current socials guy Jay Hart, who kind of gave you his own send-off at the end of the show, it appeared, as is. I will say we told Jay Hart this was a prove it week, prove it month. I don't know if we got a prove it month cart, but we got a prove it video. We got one prove it cap cut video out of this, and that was good. Do you have any final words for Jay Hart, Carter?
Hopefully we can see those other videos that are currently in set chamber. But congrats to those who have advanced, and thank you for those who participated who did not go through. It's a very tough field that you're a part of, and life is about getting kicked down, and I know you'll bounce back.
We have to do an individual goodbye as well, even though you tried to just get out of here. Venet has been eliminated from the competition. Rauf, I'd like you to say a piece on this because I mentioned this. Venet was the other member of your top two. I think you're shocked he didn't go through here. How are you feeling here with Venet eliminated?
Yeah, it is a bit surprising. He was my number two. I thought his work was phenomenal. I love how much he loves Sleepers and loves the Discord and the commitment to that. But as we talked about, all five of these guys are awesome at what they do. I guess maybe 4.5 if Jay Hart's not posting stuff that he's got in the chamber. But I like all these guys are really good at what they do. So like we're splitting hairs up here, but I'm a big fan of Venet as well.
All right, Cart, any thoughts on Venet's elimination at this point in the competition? Any goodbye words to Venet?
Yeah, I thought Venet might sneak through on this one, so I am a little bit shocked when it comes to that. But I guess at this point of the competition, you are going to lose people that we think are capable. So this is just something you got to kind of roll with the punches with.
Yeah, it's the nature of a tough competition like this. I am shocked at these results. I will say that. But we set this up to work exactly like this. Ultimately, you've got to work well with our team, just like you would need to work with Carter and I. And our team has spoken tonight. So our final three is Booby, Wink, and Eli. Next week, each of those three are going to have 24 hours to do whatever they want on the Sleepers Media social media channels. We're going to give them access. They can do whatever they want with it. We'll see where they go with that. For now, thank you to Jay Hart and Venet for all of their work. As I mentioned, we're going to talk to these guys offline. Jay Hart will continue working with us, and we have some ideas potentially for Venet as well. So thank you all for watching this. This was a fun night, even though it was chaotic and a little bit cutthroat. We'll see you next week for the finale of Sleepers Got Talent.